We are Rue des Grands Augustins in Paris, and when the war broke out, Picasso took a very important decision, which was to stay in Paris and continue to work here. Right at the Paris Libération, he did this series of Plan Tomates, which is very, very upbeat and very different from the rest of the still lifes, which he did at the time. Picasso decided to stay in France. I mean, he could have flown. He was a very well-known artist at the time. He was considered a degenerate artist by the Nazis. But he stayed in France as an act of resistance, and he decided that the way that he would be a resistant was to continue to paint. He drew inspiration from his atelier, from the things surrounding him. But also, this series was a way of showing the resilience of the Parisian people. He was not allowed to exhibit anything, and so all his production during the war was, in effect, a secret. So it was of great interest for the public to see what he had painted during this time. This is the atelier, which is in all the Cecil Beaton's photo in 1944. And this is where Picasso was visited by Americans coming to Paris because, you know, they wanted to see the great master. They wanted to see the great artist who had continued to paint through the whole war. He was the man to see, he was the man to visit. It was clearly very happy for them to be here, but also for him, I think it was probably a big shock after having lived, you know, by himself for 6 years. And suddenly, he was very much again the center of the attention. As always with Picasso, there are several stages of meaning in what he paints. You know, the Plan Tomate is not just a Plan Tomate. It's a symbol of the difficulties of the war and the ingenuity of the people who are planting their own food and resorting to their own resources to survive. Here you've got this very elegant plant which is going throughout all the canvas. You've got the window and the light coming through the window and this big red tomato in the middle. It clearly shows that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that after these years of darkness, finally, you know, the lives can regenerate and there are brighter things ahead. Picasso created almost 2,000 works of art during this period. For him, it was a way of continuing his life and not letting the German occupation and the war have too much impact on who he was.